Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back for another video. So I have a lot of new subscribers, and I haven't done this in a while, so some of you guys might not know what this is, but I started something on my channel to engage people, to see other people's perspectives, and kind of just throw some information out there, some questions, and see what the majority of people think and the reasons behind it. So I do this weekly silver poll. Now I've done two polls already. I think the first one was what type of stacker you are. You could choose like bullion, numismatic stack, or a little bit of both. And I leave a link, a poll, up in the right hand corner of this video. You will see a poll that will come up. It will ask you to choose A, B, or C. And the results have been really cool so far. The second poll, I asked if people think silver would hit above or stay below $20 at the end of 2017 for the current spot price. So it's just really cool to see what the community thinks, and to see how diverse people's thoughts are, and looking at the results to see that 60% of people think it's going to stay under $20, and hearing their reasons compared to the people who think it's going to go above $20. And in the comment section, both voters kind of explain why they think this way and what made them choose that, and it's just really cool. I think this is a great idea to learn and kind of pick people's brains on why they stack and do things the way they do. So this is just a little type of series I made up just to make the silver community more fun. I really put a lot of thought in these videos, so I hope you guys enjoy this. So we have the third poll today, and this one is, where do you buy the majority of your silver? So the keyword is majority. I'm not talking about every time you purchase, but most of your purchases, where do you buy them from? So we have three different categories. You have your online big bullion dealers like APMEX, JM Bullion, Modern Coin Mart, Provident Metals, places like that. These perks that come with them are they are highly trusted, and they have tons of variety. I can find coins on APMEX that I could not find anywhere on eBay or from any coin shop or any private seller. So, and they're highly trusted. You don't have to worry about really getting fake coins from these companies. I still recommend you test them once in a while, but you don't really have to worry about that. If your package gets lost in shipping, they will refund you your money, or you can get a refund of, they'll resend you the coins. That's actually happened to me before with Modern Coin Mart actually. But a lot of that's more of like if you're spending a lot of money and you really need to make sure you're getting what you ordered, because sometimes they can, since they have such good variety and they're so trusted, they can get away with higher premiums and a little bit more expensive stuff because people are willing to pay that to ensure that their coins are legit and they come in perfect condition. So B, we have private sellers. This is talking about eBay sellers, Craigslist. You can find silver on Instagram, even individuals you might know around town, or just more of just like the private, just individuals. It could be online or in person, just not a major. This would be like in a couple years if I was to start selling my silver, if one of you guys came and started buying silver off me. So it's more of like an individual level than a dealer. So there's perks to this are can be potentially really low cost, especially depending on how fast and how impatient that person is. If they're really just trying to get their silver off, they might sell really close to spot because they don't have time to wait to find a buyer who's willing to pay the premium. So going this way, you can get some really good prices, especially on eBay. You can start bidding. They instead of the buy it now, sometimes people have the auctions, and looking around for a couple minutes trying to find some good auctions to bid on, you have potential to get some really good deals on there. I know I've done that with junk silver a couple times. I've won some really good auctions and got junk silver for really good prices. So That's another one. So the last one, which is C, which is local coin shops, flea markets, pawn shops, anywhere just in person that sells coins. It's a dealership, not an individual. It's an actual shop, but in person instead of online. So the perks to this are low costs. Well, I mean, not all the time, but usually you get at your local coin shop, you can find some pretty good deals because there's no shipping fees and handling and stuff like that. Also, if you build a relationship with the owner, you can get really good deals as well, and you can pick their brain. Those guys have usually they're collecting for years, if not their whole life. The majority of their stuff is stuff they've collected over the years. So if you go in there and build a relationship with them, you can learn a lot of tools and use that to your advantage. When I have a pretty good relationship with two different local coin shops in my area, and every time I go in there, I just talk to them, ask them how their day is going, all that, and I've gotten better deals than some other people just because that relationship pays off, and people respect that. Respect goes a long, long way. Especially when you're so passionate about this stuff, people encourage you, and that motivates them, and they're willing to help you out. Like, I'm 24 years old. I've been buying silver for about 2 to 3 years now. I think a little over 2 years. And I've been going into the same coin shop, so they know me, and they've mentioned how cool they think it is that someone so young is so passionate about coins, and not only silver. I'm really into like old world currency. I have hundreds of different banknotes from all over the world. I have world coins from the 1700s to shipwreck coins to also, it's not always about the silver for me. It's the history and the artwork that goes on the banknotes and the coins, and learning the story and all that. So it's more of like a hobby, and people are willing to, once they know that you're not just in this for the money and there's some type of passion behind it, they will help. Well, most of the time they will help you out, and they will give you a better price compared to the person that comes in that's just like, hey, get this all, you know what I mean. Just friendships go a long way. So those are the 3 different categories and some of the perks that go along with each of them. So when I leave the poll up in the right hand side of this video, you should be able to see the little icon, and you can just click on the icon if the poll is already popped up to get your vote in. And just, it's whatever the majority is. Some people do go to the local coin shops, or some people do a lot of all this, but just the one you go to the most. And there, like someone commented on my video and said that they're looking for a specific coin and they've never bought online, that they've only always went to their local coin shop, but they were talking about the Rwanda coin actually. He was saying something about, how beautiful the Rwanda looked, and he wants to start this series, but his local coin shop doesn't have it. So he was talking about he's going to finally have to, jump the gun and make a purchase on AppMex. And I was kind of telling him, like, it's not as scary as you think. If it ever did get lost in shipping, they have ways to make sure that you're not lying, and if you're telling the truth, that you pay the extra fee for that, and they can refund you your money, or they will reship the coin. It might take a little bit of a process, but even if the coin comes to your house and it's scratched or damaged in a certain way that you're not fine with, there's ways that you can resend it back to them, and they will send you one that you are satisfied with. So there is a lot of comfortability and flexibility in certain areas, but that can also be beneficial with the coin shop as well, because you can see the coin in purchase, and you don't have to worry about that week or two wait to get the coin, and then find out it's scratched, and then resend it, and then wait another 2 weeks. And at a coin shop in person, you can see the scratch right there and avoid that whole thing. So sometimes the coin shop can be beneficial because you know exactly what you're buying, and you can tell if it's fake or not because you can test it compared to sometimes if you're buying off a private eBay seller, you might find out the hard way and then have to deal with the legal issues or hitting them up and making sure they, so there's several different factors that play into this. So I just really want you guys to let me know your reasons on which category you are safest buying in, and make sure you guys vote in the poll box, because the last poll a lot of people were answering in the comment section and they weren't answering in the poll box, and if you do that it won't pick up the numbers. So make sure you comment in the poll box in the upper right hand corner, and then you can leave a comment below and tell me why you chose that letter. So I'm interested to hear what you guys think. And if you guys like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. I put a lot of work into these videos. As you can tell, I post daily silver content just to spark discussion in the community and entertain you guys, because I love that you guys have a passion just like I do. So make sure you subscribe if you already haven't, and I will see you guys for the next video. Peace.